This this is Tyrol, or Tyrol. I don't actually know how to pronounce it.
Tyrol.
So let's just go with Tyrol. Honestly, we like Tyrol. And in fact, so many people like Tyrol that it's been fought over by a bunch of different countries. Historically, Tyrol has been swapped around between the Germans, Austrians, and Italians for a hot minute, so strap in for this wild ride. Tyrol is basically nestled right in the middle of some seriously mountainous terrain. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried to fight in the mountains, but it's not exactly an ideal battlefield. You'd think that some people would leave it alone, but no, everyone wants it. So, what's the deal with Tyrol? I mean, it's been owned by quite a few different countries. Austria Hungary controlled it for a while, but then the Italians, who weren't super thrilled about that, decided they wanted it after World War One. Even though Italy didn't exactly win World War One, let's be real, their performance was, well, subpar. They even somehow managed to snag Tyrol anyway. But then Italy flopped pretty hard in World War Two. Germany briefly swooped in and took Tyrol, but then plot twist, Germany collapsed. And guess who got it back? Yep, Italy, once again. So why did so many countries want Tyrol? Well, let's take a quick history detour. Austria-Hungary used to be this gigantic empire that controlled a ton of land. Like, for some reason, Belgium, Spain, and the southern half of Italy. Seriously, what were they thinking? And of course, they controlled Tyrol. But a certain short guy strolls in and says, "Hey, Austria, Tyrol's not yours anymore," along with like half of their empire. And just like that, Tyrol's status is up in the air while Austria scrambles to get its army back together. Fast forward to 1812, after Napoleon gets wiped out at the Battle of Waterloo, and Europe decides it's time for a makeover at the Congress of Vienna. Vienna, that place in Austria. It's super keen on getting Tyrol back, and surprise, surprise, Austria gets it. Hooray! But they also grab Venice. And by the time Italy unifies, guess what? Italy's like, "Hey, Austria, we're going to need to fight you again." So now in 1866, Italy finally gets Venice back. But guess what? No Tyrol. So Italy's sitting there like, "Oh, we still want Tyrol." But they're not dumb enough to declare war on Austria because fighting Austria equals certain doom. Getting Tyrol is not going to be easy. Here's the thing. There are lots of Italians living in Tyrol. So Tyrol is a part of Austria. It's like this awkward situation where the residents aren't even being controlled by their own country. Cue Italian guerrillas, who start agitating for Tyrol's return. And by World War One, Italy finally gets what it wants. Oh, and side note here, some people in Italy wanted this little piece of land here called Dalmatia, but surprise, surprise, that didn't happen because Italy did so terribly in World War One. But by World War Two, Mussolini's like, "I'm going to make Italy great again." So yeah, he really flopped on that one. Mussolini tries to take some French territory, fails. Tries to conquer Africa, fails again. Tries Greece, and fails. It's like he's collecting failures at this point. Sorry, Mussolini, you really made Italy look bad. A few years later, and Italy gets invaded and falls under Allied control. While the north of the country is under Hitler's thumb, great job, Mussolini. Then, after a year or two, the Soviets show up. Now Tyrol is basically up for grabs again, and drumroll ends up staying with Italy. After World War II, some people thought, hey, maybe we should give Tyrol back to Austria, but by then it was so Italian that it was basically like, "Sorry, Austria, it's ours now." And that's the crazy, chaotic, confusing history of Tyrol, a tiny piece of land that you've probably never heard of that has a surprisingly interesting story. Thanks for watching.